What's up, world? It's your boy, Mike Muse. Welcome to the Conversation of Mike Muse Show. I am so excited to be in conversation with you all. I have some very special guests. You may have heard them chatting because they came in with such good energy, and we love guests who have good energy here. And I have a feeling why they may have some good energy. Some Tony Award shit's happening around them, so I'm sure it's an exciting time. But listen, let's get into it. Ladies first, obviously, the amazing and talented Helen Shen. What's happening?
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Yo, your vibes.
Oh, thank you. Your vibes.
This is my first time meeting you. You walked in and you started the party.
Well, thank you.
Amplify that by 100 because this is her Broadway debut. So that energy is what everybody is feeding on when they see her on stage or see her, whether it's in person in a studio or just around. Like this is the Big Bang. You're witnessing it right now.
This is it.
We're at ground zero of the moment of Helen J. Shen just taking over.
Oh, so okay. I see what's happening right there, Helen.
But that was such a microcosm, example of like what her deal is.
So. Wow, let's get into it. We're coming in hot. We're coming in right now. The voice that you heard right there is my guy Darren Criss. He's returned.
I'm also here.
To the Mike Muse Show. But what is that like? We were just talking with actress Terry Vaughn recently, and so she has a new show coming out in her due time, and she's about to walk into this new era. I feel like we're in this new era now. We're having guests who are walking into this new era. So, like, what is that feeling to walk into this new era of your life? We don't get a chance to witness people like that often.
It's very overwhelming. Yeah. I feel very grateful to be surrounded by the piece that I'm doing, this container of this show that I'm a part of.
Maybe Happy Ending
on Broadway at the Belasco Theater.
Tony nominated.
Pure. It's that part of it is so glorious, and to do it with these people and to do it with this company and to be inspired by these amazing people is such a gift. And then it's like being debutanted into the world, trying to feel the cotillion of it all, to feel like it's wonderful to be recognized that I do what I do. I have been doing this for a while is not the word, but
the appropriate amount of time for you to be where you're at.
Right. I've worked very hard to get to this place. Yes. And so it feels really nice to arrive and feel like I have worked for it. Mm-hmm. You know, that is an exciting accomplishment and just really lovely to be embraced by people. That is just the best.
It takes a lifetime to be an overnight success.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it does.
It's not overnight. That's the trick of it. It's actually years of legwork.
Work.
Yeah.
We always think that sometimes luck just happens for people, right? And we just happen that success can just happen for overnight, but don't really realize like the amount of work that you have to put into it.
And the village that brought you there.
And to be prepared for your moment to be debutanted.
Period.
Yeah. Right?
Yes,
having to put in like the actual technical chops that what it takes to be an actor.
With Maybe Happy Ending, it was one self-tape, one chemistry read callback with Darren, and then the next day I found it. So if I wasn't where I was with my instrument, with my craft and everything, that speed with which that happened, that would have been too fast, and there wouldn't have been
you were ready
catching.
for it. Seneca said it best. Luck is opportunity meeting preparation.
It is.
Opportunity met with preparation, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, I want to ask you one more question before I start asking Darren some questions. And thank you, Darren, for really amplifying her and hyping her up.
Well, I'm also a paid press agent, so I have to. I'm trying to bone up right now.
I love when co-stars amp each other up and hype each other up. I think that's very special. I have a question for you, and as we're talking, I'm just thinking about was there a moment when you felt like, oh, this is my moment. This is a new beginning for me. My trajectory is about to change. Was it a show during preview?
Yeah.
Was it opening night? Was it 10 shows in?
First preview was definitely crazy, but the first moment that something felt like something was shifting, they didn't tell me that they were going to put our names in lights above the marquee at the Belasco. So I got...
That doesn't always happen. You should know that not all theaters have marquees with these sort of classic name and lights.
Yeah.
Like that phrase, name and lights, is something of an antiquated sort of notion. It doesn't happen very often. It's like 2 or 3 theaters that actually have that. So I should just tee that up for Liz.
Perfect. Good context.
Yes.
Thank you.
And so to see, this was before rehearsals even started. This was just after the announcement. They had started to prepare the Belasco Theater physically for Maybe Happy Ending. And that was the first time that I don't know. I guess I felt like not only did I just book my first Broadway show, but I was going to be one of the leads of this Broadway show. And that was a really crazy feeling, because any Broadway debut is really special and such an accomplishment. And, you know, so this one being this splashy and highlighted and buoyed is really exciting.
So it was that moment. The name and the lights, the name.
Literally
and the
name and
boards.
lights on Broadway.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got your name on the boards, as they say.
Yes, that's my
Yeah.
dad's name. You know what I mean? Like, he was born in China. Like, I'm an immigrant. Like, I'm a child of immigrants, and this is a really exciting thing for them too. It says Darren, Helen, J, Criss, Shen.
Yeah.
Maybe happy ending.
It actually creates a provenance, right? And actually seeing your name up there, it actually makes it feel real. Darren, I'm curious for you. Like, we've known you for a while. You're this
Have we,
incredible.
though?
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. Maybe
Shades of me.
Yeah, we don't know all of you.
I embargo most of the good stuff just so I can let it play out over a period. It's a long game, you know.
As long as you can,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Unveiling layers as you
Yes,
should.
just trying to get them not to kick me off the field.
Exactly. So I should say we know what we know of you for a long
Sure.
time now. What was your moment when you recognized that you were becoming Darren Criss to the world?
Oh boy, I don't know. I feel like that's an ongoing magical mystery tour. I don't know if there's ever one thing. I feel like I'm too preoccupied with what is going on right in front of me to sort of absorb what's going on outside of that. So I don't know. I mean, it's an amalgam of moments. I mean, you know, getting asked that question, that's an indicator of like, oh wow, I guess there's a version of me that isn't just the person that I live with and wake up with and go to sleep with in the morning. So I don't know if there's you know, it was a long time ago when I made my Broadway debut. So it's I now a lot of those like oh my god moments they still continue to happen. I should say that. I was about to say we're in the rearview mirror, but only because I was thinking in the context of what Helen is going through, because she made her Broadway debut at the same age that I was when I made mine. So I was thinking about that. I should say that those oh my god moments, you said when did they happen? They just keep happening. They're always happening at all times. I'm sitting at SiriusXM talking to you. Like I still get to. People are inviting me to talk about the work that I do, that I'm passionate about. That ain't always the case. In fact, most of the time, I'm not doing it. Artists spend the majority of their time not getting to do the art. They have to think about it and hope for it and do the legwork and all the other preparation until that opportunity arrives to make your luck magically happen. I'm spending so much time doing that anytime I'm granted access to do it again, I get another checkpoint where I'm allowed to continue my lease on this bizarre backward lifestyle of choosing to be an artist is that's always a moment of like, oh my god, I can't believe that we're doing this. So while this is Helen's Broadway debut, in many respects it's a debut for me. It's the first time I'm getting to originate a role. The show is a new one. It's original. It's completely singular to itself. This isn't a revival or based on some kind of movie or book that we're familiar with. So there is a newness and oh my godness to this. There are a lot of milestones that neither Helen or myself have ever experienced, and getting to experience with her is great. So the name and lights being shared on a marquee is a very apt symbol of this moment that we're both having together and how we're bolstering each other in this moment, and we're both on this magic carpet ride together. We're getting to have an original show, getting to do a cast album, all these milestones that we both grew up, while maybe a few years apart, dreaming about and looking at other people doing, and maybe going, oh man, I wonder if I'll ever get to do that. Now we're getting to do that, and so there is a newness and an oh my godness that is certainly happening right now.
I like how you said lease. I never heard that described from an actor.
Oh yeah, this is a
the
limited time
lease.
offer, baby. This is this whole life that we're living is.
You truly see it as you're a custodian.
Yes.
Not an owner, but a custodian.
Oh, absolutely. I'm in the service industry, man. I always say that. Everything that I do as an artist is in service of something much bigger than myself. I'm not here for me. I'm here. Art is a public service. It is my responsibility as somebody that has been given these random party tricks to elevate and be as constructive and additive as much as I can to people outside of my thing. That's my vocation.
That perspective, does it have to have something to do with just those who do theater, right? Because you seem very in your pinch me moment still, right? And a lot of times I talk to individuals who are on the big screen in film, and I often don't see them having their pinch me moment still after being established. And I'm just wondering, is it because it's such a lack of inventory on Broadway? There's just only so many stages that make up Broadway. So is that why you still feel so appreciative that you're still be able to extend this lease that you have?
Well, I'm just
arts?
an overly grateful person. Call me a happy idiot. I just can't believe that I get to do anything at any time, because my bar is kind of low for myself at all times, so I'm constantly pleased with the outcome. But working the theater, it has a couple things that maybe other mediums don't. That is why I love the theater so much. First of all, it's in person. It's happening in a real-time catharsis with human beings in the same room, breathing the same air. Also, it's repetition. It's happening over and over and over again. Everything that's happening that we're talking about, like we're talking to you right now about our show. We're doing it
tonight.
Yeah.
And we did it last night, and we're going to do it again and again and again.
It seems like a practice.
Yeah.
You know, it's you show up every day.
It is a practice.
You make your routines, and then you get to make art as a practice, and then the product is something that you leave on the stage every night. And hopefully, if phones are all turned off, then it does remain ephemeral and a kind of thing that only 1,000 people a night get to experience this particular show.
And that is different from, if we're promoting if we're in a band and we made a record like several months ago. Like that work is done. Now we're doing the promo part of that work, or the film. Like that's done. We are still doing it, and the people that are going to see it tonight, we have never met and have never. Every time we do this show is a brand new circumstance that has never been before and will never be again, ever. That's extraordinary. Getting to do that 8 times a week.
Because it's a transfer of energy with the audience, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it feels different, right? Yeah. And Helen, I'm interested with you because this has a lot to do with like love, and I love what the writer said. If you don't mind me reading something that I thought they wrote in terms of a thesis, and the writer said, "Loving someone can be a heartbreaking thing. So why do we do it? Do I really want to pursue another deep connection with someone new, or do I want to be myself, which is more comforting in so many ways?" And I thought that was just so beautiful about a thesis and the construct of this musical.
Yes, there's. The first song that is sung is a song called "Why Love," so it's that sentiment: is why do we do it if we know that there could be heartbreak at the end, at the other end of it. But my character Claire sings a song called "How to Be Not Alone." I'm trying to figure out the title of it. How to Be Not Alone, and it is a sentiment. Our writers also said that it is not a love song. That particular song is not a love song. It's about why if we have the chance and choice to isolate ourselves, should we choose connection? And I think that rings so true, especially after the couple of years that we've all had of the forced isolation, or with these screens that we have, this kind of elected isolation that masks itself as connection. Why in-person sharing of energy and vibrating with somebody, like that is, you can't replace that with anything. And yes, of course, there's the opposite end of the spectrum, which is pain, but there's also, you open the other end up to joy and fulfillment. You could stay in the middle, but why not open yourself up to the whole breadth and spectrum of feeling? Because you take the joy with the pain. Those are all, they're two sides of the same coin.
The fear of heartbreak is what has helped me back from pursuing love.
Sure.
Because that's just such a real thing.
You want to protect yourself. You want to keep your skin thick, and just, you don't want to keep running at the same wall, and that's a fool's errand to keep hurting yourself. But it's also maybe the fool's errand of a human to be like, but this time it could be different, and this one could be the one. And that's joyous. I think with these characters too, it's the first time they're discovering that. I think there's a very beautiful melancholy to the first time you felt like you fell in love. It will change. You'll probably fall in love for the first time over and over again, because it'll keep changing and keep evolving. But I think to use that as the vessel to tell this particular story of why we connect. Is to have the first time you have a first crush on someone. You didn't even know you could feel these feelings.
Yeah, that first kiss.
Yes.
In a bar.
Oh my God, the butterflies! I'm getting it already.
Yeah.
Like, it's so exciting.
Right, I am. I'm thinking about that first time I had about kiss in a bar.
We should mention for our listeners, because I know we were just getting into it, we dove right in. This story is the characters that Helen and I play are robots.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not a small detail, and the reason why I bring this up is because you are examining these questions and these topics that are an enduring part of storytelling, songs, poems, film for hundreds, if not thousands of years. We've discussed why are we doing this insane thing called love. It's one of the most pivotal constructs of the human experience of love, and different kinds of love, not just the fun, kissing somebody in a bar love, but obviously between family and friends and a lot of things in your life that you apply love to. This very undeniably human thing of love. What's brilliant about the construct of the show is that this whole idea is explored through two robots, aka non-humans. So you are approaching these questions in a very computational way, in a sort of systematic, logical way, and the way that breaks. Love defies logic. That's what's so wonderful about it. And so when you're applying ones and zeros, and suddenly this unicorn flies into the ones and zeros, it just why do they do this? And so it's fun getting to explore these otherwise logical creatures. Try and assess the cost benefit of this absurd idea. And I think that's what's so compelling about watching the show, is that you're not just watching a couple go through it, which we've watched many, and that's so much fun in so many different mediums, but there's something very unique about displacing the human expectation through these robots that has made this very ancient conversation something very contemporary.
But I love how you're talking about logic, binary, ones and zeros, like computation, technicalities, because sometimes we look at love as this like touch, right? Physicality aspect of it, making love, kissing. Well, as robots, what I love that what this musical is examining is the restraint of that. Talk to me a little bit, Darren, about the restraint of that and the power that can come out of restraint.
Well, first of all, that's a theme in general that I always love. Some of the sexiest movies of all time to me are the ones where you can't see them do anything, any of the naughty stuff. That are of course, there's lots of films that do show that, and it's just as compelling. But there is a beauty in restraint. I think in not for everything, but in a lot of art, parameters make an audience rise to an occasion sometimes that is almost more thrilling. I think of it as lingerie. It's like it's showing enough and framing a beautiful idea of something that makes the allure higher, because you're not going to the place that it may or may not be leading to. Like that push and pull is such a thrill for audiences. Well, I'm not wearing lingerie in this show. Metaphorically speaking, there are things that, who knows? Maybe there's a revival one day. It'll be a racy version. Maybe.
That's awesome.
There's
make sure you come back for that.
Right, exactly.
Conversation. Come back for that. Let's unpack that.
That's running yourself.
Robots in lingerie.
Yes.
I'm sure AI will be able to do their own version of this very soon.
There's also something to speak about with the restraint of, like, as people, we would be so affected and excited and moved by this piece, because it is it's a moving piece. But as the robots, we are the I'm an Aquarius. Water bearers.
Yes.
We are Aquarius.
We are Aquarius. We are Aquarians. It's a very Aquarian building.
And
that makes sense.
Fascinating to me, Aquarians.
Well,
and I'm a Leo.
We have to be different.
You do.
So we're the water bearers. And the water, if that's the emotion, we can hold that container for the audience to then experience the story and feel safe enough to sob or
laugh out
loud and gasp and all of these wonderful cathartic things that really only a theater can provide in that way. But so I think that restraint is maybe difficult on our personhood, but as the character, I don't ever really get to a point of wanting to crumble on the ground and snot and cry. And that's what's so beautiful about it, is because that is the effect that we're having on others.
Yeah, we have to restrain ourselves because we have to do, the audience is left to have to do the things that we won't and cannot. So what I was going to say is like, one of the hardest things for me in the show is not to cry in the show. Not because it's sad, but because it's very moving. And there's a lot of cathartic moments in the show that are just so sweet. You just want to like, crumble in a corner and just and just be by yourself. But because we have to be the vessels for that, the water bearers, so to speak, that restraint is what, like I said about leaning in, is what makes the audience rise to the occasion of doing that, because there's only one person in the room that can do it, and it's not the people on stage.
I never even thought about that until this now. The week landed somewhere very special to me, because I just feel like that's so important, because I think being restrained as an actor, right, in this performance, it allows the audience to interpret what it is they should feel without you dictating to them how they feel. So Helen, I think that kind of brings full circle to what you were saying earlier about how it's a new experience every time you interact with that 1,000 person, because it's a true emotion that you're not telling them, okay, now it's time to cry, right? Now it's time to laugh, right? So when you hear those sniffles, right? When you hear a chuckle, you you see what's being about. But the more restrained you are, I think that's the most beautiful is. Audience, I think it's something as simple we can all relate to, at least for me, when I go to an art museum. I don't like reading the description of the art. I like to just interpret and feel the art. And then I may check back later to see what the painting is, but most times I don't.
Yeah. Because I think that can affect maybe how you think about it and how you are affected by it, to just experience something without the notions of other people's thoughts on it. You can really form your own opinion about it and really have a very singular experience. I cry so much on a plane. I don't know why. Yeah. You just feel isolated. So for some reason, when I'm watching a movie on a plane.
Oh, watching a movie. I just
watching
cry on a plane.
Or just crying.
Just cry.
You're crying
on
the
plane.
Yes,
It
was an amazing weekend to find gravity. But there's something about being in the dark.
It is.
And with other. I don't know what it is about it.
I cry every time I watch Top Gun 2 Maverick on the plane. I swear to God, I cry like a baby.
I love watching Top Gun Maverick on a plane.
No, I'm the same way. I have a couple of drinks, and it's that scene when Tom Cruise steals a fighter jet, and he does a simulation to show the generals that these students can live on this mission. I'm like, why is nobody fighting for me like that?
I liked you.
Right? I need right, Helen? Like, I want somebody to steal a fighter jet for me to prove that they love me, right? If you're not stealing a fighter jet, you don't love me. You don't fucking love me, right? Like,
oh boy, dude, Mike, you better buckle your shit up when you see Maybe Happy Ending. You are going to be carted out on a wheelbarrow in a bed of tissues.
Listen,
just buckle up. If Tom Cruise is getting you with the fucking flight simulation, just you wait.
I'm like, where is my F1?
Yes, absolutely.
I knew I liked you when I met you.
I liked you.
You're my person. I love you so much. I just met you. It's like love at first sight.
I know, it's just because when it's right, it's right.
Flight simulators. I think that's the best way to end this conversation.
We'll be your Tom Cruise, man.
Yes,
we'll be your Tom Cruise.
This has made my day.
You can do it, man. We believe in you.
Here I am thinking I'm in service to you this interview. You guys have been in service to me this whole time. Fucking plot twist.
In that life.
Keep up.
Plot twist. I see where you guys are Tony nominated, right? With that being said, congratulations, guys, on this Tony nominated musical. And thank you so much for this wonderful conversation and bringing such good energy. It was very esoteric and erudite.
Carrying that water, man.
Carrying that water for me.
Sip it up, baby.
Right? I gotta stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Until next time, folks. Peace. Oh, go see this musical.
Belasco Theater.
Maybe Happy Ending.
Maybe Happy Ending.
Until next time, folks. Peace. Watch the Tonys. Vote for them, too. Vote for them, please.